Hello guys, welcome to Kweku Tech. If today is your first time here, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button and the notification icon. So I have with me Dollar here who has developed the Yolk framework. I want him to take us through how the framework works so that for people who love to use it, so that you get more insight on how to use it. So he will be taking us through. I will leave the rest to him for him to what? Show us. So Dollar.
All right, so this is PHP Yolk framework. As I said, basically I made it for to help front-end developers, mostly back-end. So you can be your own front-end developer and be your back-end developer. You understand?
So is it something like WordPress in the form of WordPress? Something
It's not WordPress. You could, but most of the things you see how it's like Flutter. How
Okay.
Flutter works. It's
Okay.
widgets. Maybe container inside container, like just containers and
Okay.
yes. So widgets inside widgets,
Like
widgets.
Laravel. Have you used Laravel before?
Yeah, but I think Laravel is like it uses HTML and all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm talking about the Yolk UI.
Okay.
So Yolk has two sides.
Okay.
The Yolk UI and then the Yolk Assistant.
Okay.
So the Yolk Assistant is like the Laravel, how it's handle database and all the stuff. So yeah, so it's like made easy, programming made easy with the Yolk, searching the CRUD functionalities and other stuff, searching from database. You don't need to make any SQL queries.
Okay.
Yes, so you just score some few lines and then
much coding.
No, you don't do much coding.
So can someone with no little background in programming work with it?
Sure, you can work with it. You understand? So because if somebody with no programming background can learn Flutter or that to start building mobile apps, sure. I think that I believe that with Yolk you can use like 2 hours to understand everything, like, and start building your own system, because you don't need to hassle to build like stuff. Right now I can just use a single day to build different apps because it's handled database. You just need to pass in some few stuff, just like any other framework. It has with the Laravel and all the stuff, you create new projects, you have to run commands, same as this. You need to go to the official documentation, and then I think I'm having fun with this part. So there's the official website. We are currently not done with the official documentation, but I think within some few time, by Christmas time, everything will be okay. And one amazing thing about the Yolk, I want to talk more before we get into the amazing thing, is I have tried and put in the things that we need as programmers, things we need in our daily programming lives. You see, especially being in Africa here, you need mobile money service. People struggle a lot. So with Yolk, you just go one line of code and initiate payments like mobile money transactions. You can send bulk SMS with just one line of code.
You can be paying for all those services.
You paid to currently Yolk is trying to get its own bulk SMS service that you just register on the Yolk official website. You understand, to get a key. So everything is inside there. Before you use Yolk, the env file, the environment file, contains those things that you need to set up your database connection and some few stuff there. Payments, mobile money payment API. That's if you are going to use it. Currently, I'm working with Paystack. Yes. So it's like Yolk Pay is, we are partnering with Paystack. So it's like mobile money made easy for web developers. You just call one line of code to initiate a transaction.
Let me ask this question. You said it's built on PHP.
Yes.
So do someone need to have a knowledge in PHP before using the
Okay,
framework or
all
something?
right. That's a nice question. The things that you need to know in PHP is like the normal basic stuff like for loop and while loop. You understand? Because let's say you are Yolk has already handled fetching results or an array of um, students or anything or records from the database. You understand? A table. You have to find a way to display it nicely.
Okay.
That's why we use the for loop and for each. You understand?
Okay.
You have to loop through.
Okay.
It comes as an array. So that's the basic stuff of every
Okay.
programming language. Yeah. So it's like something like for loop. You have to know a little about arrays, then yes, but you don't need to go deep because database and all the database connection stuff,
Everything has been configured for you.
fetching, it handles updating your database.
Okay.
You understand? Handles deletes, it handles counting,
Okay.
it handles pagination.
Okay.
Like
So everything has been configured now.
everything is inbuilt. You understand? So let's get in straight and then let me show you some basic stuff. You understand? So your bulk SMS, bulk email is something that we struggle most of the time as developers trying to get SMS, trying to send bulk emails.
Yes.
You understand? So currency converters and all those stuff. Yolk has it all.
Oh wow.
Inbuilt. And we are currently working on the Yolk store where if you know the Yolk, you can build your own template just like React and all that they have. Yeah, so the Yolk store is going to be like where programmers using the Yolk to build your own stuff. You also have the opportunity to build templates, your e-commerce things using the Yolk, a whole Yolk, you understand? So that you can make additional money from it.
Okay.
So
you
like
sell for people or you can do it for free?
Everybody, you can put your, let's say, a plugin that will encrypt files or something using Yolk. Then you can come and understand. Yeah, so the whole Yolk is making programming easy and helping frontends. And the good thing about the Yolk is the UI together with the backend, everything is built in PHP. All right, so as I was saying, just like making plugins, add-ons, like you can create your own login page using the Yolk. And as I was saying, the good thing about this Yolk is, you see, PHP is a server-side script. It runs on the server. It's not client-side. And the whole thing is built, including the UI, is built on PHP. So it's the HTML and they are all client-side. You understand? But Yolk UI itself is PHP. So which makes it run faster. You understand? Because it runs on the server. Very good. Yeah. So quickly we have to I'll show you like this. When you get to the Yolk page, we are still working on very soon by Christmas time, sending bulk SMS and all those stuff. Even what is here has been so we have this is the Yolk official website. So go to phpyolk.com. You can read some few stuff. We are still working on this page because the coding itself is done, but we are working on the official documentation. Yeah, so currently we will be dropping video tutorials first while we are working on the written aspect of it. You understand? So very soon, you can check the YouTube channel PHP Yolk or the Yolk framework on YouTube and can subscribe and so it helps you to send bulk SMS. It for you to accept mobile money on your website. You understand? As a developer, no, you just call one line of code. You understand to receive mobile money. So we'll be testing all of them. So these are some of the things it does. You understand? So I have some people I work with.
No, I see some your partner.
So I currently partner with UV Tech. I'm notified for the bulk SMS. But we are trying to work and build the Yolk itself, having an SMS where you come and then you create accounts and you get your API key. You understand? But currently we are dealing with M Notify for the bulk SMS
and Flutterwave.
Yes, Flutterwave and Paystar for the
Flutterwave.
mobile money.
Okay.
Yes. So so let's say if you want to create, I'm just doing an overview of it, how the Yolk works. So let's say if you want to create a new project, and I'm on Mac, so
Okay.
yes, the Windows side is there. You
The
can go
Linux.
to the Windows side, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So there's if you run this query on the
Pass.
project name will be your project name.
Okay.
But I'm using Mac, so I need to copy this code here.
Okay.
Copy, you go to the PHP website, go to documentation, you go to, if you are using Mac, you come to Mac.
Okay.
Then you open your terminal, but make sure you are inside the Yolk works, it's PHP, so it works with XAMPP.
Okay.
Yeah, you need your XAMPP server and maybe MySQL.
Okay.
And the good thing about Yolk is it works with about 8 databases, like not only MySQL, Postgres, and a whole lot of databases.
Okay. So can you use only MySQL, or you need to get? What if the person wants to use Postgres without MySQL?
You just so we'll be getting to know
Okay.
that it's in the env file. So if you are using MySQL, you determine. If you are using other database,
Okay.
you just put it there
Okay.
for it to connect.
For
That's all. Just to,
flexibility, not
yes.
okay. Okay.
So
That
it
sounds
connect about 8 databases with Yolk. It's connect with 8 databases,
wow.
and you don't need to write any query
Okay.
to fetch insects and all those stuff. And Yolk has inbuilt login authenticator
Okay.
that you just need to call, pass in your parameters, and it helps you to log in. It has logout functionalities on its own.
Okay.
It has adding product to cart, and we are trying to make the system very flexible for developers.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. So we have, and we have currently we have one of the newest database management migration system.
Okay.
You understand? So all the other frameworks with database migration, you every table has to create a file, make things bulky and all those stuff. But Yolk is very simple. You whatever you see, the arrangement of how things are in your database folder, sorry, the database file, that's exactly what shows inside your PHP admin or whatever.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. So mostly all the other frameworks, they have to create or even including Python frameworks, they have to create file for each database. You understand? Classes and all those stuff. But with Yolk, we have made it very easy. So we are going to create a new project.
Let's start. Let me see.
So
what
we
you
have
are
to
talking about.
move. Okay, so I'm moving to the AT-DOS folder.
Okay.
Here currently we are in AT-DOS. That's where XAMPP, like PHP. Yeah. So I'm going to paste what I copied from the PHP website.
You are using Mac, so you are pasting Mac.
Yes.
Okay.
So you just change the project name here to your project name.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So cool tech, right?
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
So you just run it. Make sure you have a little internet connection, and you leave it to run some for a while, and it will finish downloading. So you can see it's downloading QuickTech here. Okay. It's creating a new project for you.
Okay.
So it will delete the. Now you have QuickTech. Okay. So right now, if you run localhost/QuickTech,
you added E to it.
Sorry. Where?
E to the ending of the tech.
Oh, really? Sorry. All right. So for the first time, it uses we have some algorithm behind. So anytime you create a new project, I've already created new projects on this machine.
Okay.
So it has already stored everything that. But if for the first time, if it were to be your machine, it will give you a form to key in your email so that we can see the number of people using the Yolk framework. Okay. So you key in your email and you get this message. Okay.
So you need to start the XAMPP
server. I've started my XAMPP server already. Yeah. So there's like a default thing that you see when you run Yolk. You understand? So I've already run Yolk projects here. That's why you see. Thank you for using the Yolk. For the first time, you see enter your email.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. So this is like the installation. All right. So right now we can open this Quicktech in VS Code.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see the structure of Yolk. We have some core folders here.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have um, the fragments. In other frameworks, we have something like components.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Yolk, we have the fragments. So you can put pieces of code together here, like a header where you can put your header bar,
Okay.
do some code snippets, then you call it in your main code using involve.
Okay.
Then the file name without extension, it automatically grabs it. Yeah. So, and we have the core. It contains like the classes and other things, so you don't need to touch this. And we have the loader. It's also a core function. You don't need this. So the plugins, it's like maybe later on as time goes on, when people create plugins and you want to use them, if you install them, it comes to this plugin. And I think I have one project here that I think I can use, but I will show it later. I want to introduce the folders. So we have the plugin folder, we have the processor.
Okay.
Yeah, so the processor is optional.
Okay.
It has JavaScript, Sweet Alert, and all those stuff inside. So you can use it to handle requests through AJAX, Sweet Alert, and all those stuff. So it's easy, made easy for you. But if you have a way of handling your requests, database requests, or your post requests and all those stuff, you can go the manual way and avoid. So if you go to, you can see we have some jQuery and Sweet Alert and yes, AJAX. You have AJAX here. Yeah, so it's optional. You can choose to use it. Yolk is very flexible. You understand? You can choose to. It's not only Yolk UI that you can use with the Yolk Assistant.
Okay.
You can either choose to use Yolk Assistant. That's the backend.
Okay.
Together with your normal HTML template, it works perfectly well.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Yes. So it's so flexible for you. So the processor.php is like it's an action page. We use switch cases here where you can handle all your requests on one page and create a function to so it's basically you can choose to ignore these files. You understand? So it's just to help you. We are trying to make things very easy for you. So the settings, currently PHP is the only framework that has its own CSS. Like it's called the Yolk CSS. You style a web page with PHP without any CSS.
Wow.
Yeah, so we introduced the Yolk CSS. But Yolk is so we think about people, we don't have to do it in our own way. That you can use your normal CSS, you can use any Tailwind CSS, you can use Bootstrap, you can use Material UI. Yes, you can use everything. So the settings contain css.php, favicon.php, yes, and so here you have to link if you are using Yolk UI. This place is basically for if you are using the Yolk UI together with the Yolk Assistant. You understand? So you put all your linkings here, using the Yolk, one of the Yolk elements. You have Yolk elements here, and the favicon. If you have some favicon, you get it from online and all those stuff. Later on, we make videos to explain every part of it, but there's an overview of how things are working. Yeah, so we have a JS. Here you put your JavaScripts here. If you have any JavaScript, put them here. And then the Yolk CSS. Everything is already linked here, so you don't need to do anything in the Yolk CSS here. Yeah. So that's what the setting does. You have to put links there. And the storage is where the Yolk database is. Is it mostly all the other frameworks inside your database? We have a lot of, if you have table employees, it has to create a file employees. They call it version control. But the Yolk one file, it checks the version. It's version control on its own. If you make updates, we'll do this particular thing. It means a lot to me. So in the Yolk database, we have let me clean this thing here, and we'll do some few stuff. So Yolk has its unique way of creating databases.
Okay.
So whatever you see here is what will reflect in your, let's say I'm using my SQL.
Okay.
So right now we are doing Tech. So I'm going to create a new database, Kweku or something, or Kweku Tech. So with this name, you just need to create your database. That's all. I'll create a database, Kweku Tech, and that's all. I will just come to the env, and I'll, so this, so as I was talking about, the env contains most of the deep stuff that you need, the configurations, like the database, the mobile money, the SMS, and all those stuff. They are all here. You understand? Yeah. So you just, right now we connect our database. Yeah. So right now in Yolk, if you want to, the database that you structure here, if you want to create it, see right now we don't have any table in Tech.
Yeah.
Right now, if I run this, let me create from scratch, so that, or let me just do this for you to see it for time. So this here, there's how the Yolk, we create databases, we create tables.
Okay.
So in this situation, I'm creating a database, a table called users. Then there's the column, we are adding one column, ID, which is integer. Then the length. This is it now? It's false, meaning it's not now. And this is the increment. Is it auto increment? It's true, meaning it's auto increment. And we have, is it the primary key? Then it's true, because yes, ID. So we have here, let me change it to name.
Okay.
Then string means virtual. String means virtual. So we here have 100. Yeah. So you can choose to avoid all this. You don't need this if because we need only these things. Yeah. So first of all, we are adding only this name. The reason why I'm saying it's version control on its own. In other frameworks, it keeps generating file based on the current time and all those stuff. Yeah. So with this, I can just, with Yolk, if you are creating your tables, or if you are making changes, that's why they call them migration, or in other frameworks. So you just type your website names /migration, and it gives you interface for you to see what you are doing. So right now it has created your table for you. Here, users, you have users table.
Okay.
And we have your field, its primary key and name. So the reason I'm saying is it manages on a version. It knows its state, it's check the database and all do. I can add a new column, and then I call it email. You understand? You see, right now, if I refresh the migration, it has modified the table. If we check what structure, we have email here. It has created. I can change anything that I think is not right. I can change this to 50. That's the length. And just run my migration. It has updated. We can check it's now 50 here. And it's what you see is what you get. That's the Yolk database management. If, let's say, I made a mistake, the email is what was supposed to come. In other frameworks, you need to do a whole lot of stuff to get that. So if I, let's say, the first name or the email was supposed to come on top of email, you just move it up like this. You refresh your migration, and everything has changed here. Everything is live. So that's the Yolk. Currently, there's the state of the art. The whole Yolk itself is a state of the art framework. You understand? So everything is having a kind of different feel. Different feel on it own.
Making life easy.
Yes, very easy. So we have
the UI.
So now we have the storage. I've talked about the Yolk UI contains like some core Yolk CSS that you can import for you to use Sweet Alert and all those stuff. You understand? That's when you are using the Yolk UI. But if you are using your own HTML template, you don't need the Yolk UI.
Okay.
You don't need CSS settings.
Okay.
Yes, and some few things that we'll make video on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so but basically we are focusing on the Yolk UI together with the Yolk backend.
Okay.
You understand? So the Yolk UI contains some core CSS that about Yolk, and we have the Yolk assets. The most incredible thing about Yolk is sometimes image upload is it's not easy. You have to go and Google and search for some code. With Yolk handle image upload automatically.
Wow. How is it done?
Yeah, so with Yolk, but we'll do that. I want to show you the folders.
Okay.
It automatically creates and encrypts an image upload and send to database. But in Yolk, your image file name should be the same as the field in the database.
Okay.
The field name.
Okay.
If it's photo in database, your input field type file name should be photo. That's the only thing you need to do.
Okay.
You understand? So in this video, we'll be doing a simple registration with a Yolk and a login, encounter, fetching, and all those basic stuff with the Yolk. You understand? So so that's why we have the Yolk asset. So if you are using Yolk UI, you can put your CSS and all those things here. Okay. Then you come and link them in the settings.
Okay. Okay.
You understand? So the Yolk asset is for videos, audios, and all those stuff. Okay. You understand? Yes. So this is where you do the actual Yolk CSS. So you can see we have styling inside PHP. Okay. It's the first time ever. It's only Yolk that you see this. This you are seeing here is not CSS. It's styling, but done in PHP. You can see it on your own. Yeah. So you can see it's not. And I'm going to use the styling here to style the page that we are going to build. Okay. For you to see. Okay, so we've talked about the Yolk CSS. We have the EMV. We've talked about. Yeah. Okay, so one thing is the engine. Okay. Oh, sorry. All right, so the engine is where all the routings are done. Okay. The routing for the Yolk. So there's a default routing you don't need to change, but you can change it. You can change the name here to anything you want. Okay. That's a migration. That's where you manage your database. Okay.
So you can change it. You can change the name.
Oh yeah, I can change it to when you are using for security reasons. You can hide the but it's actually